So this weekend, game week 33, Sorare have put on an anti-stack special competition rewarding $50,000 across the 4 scarcities. And the most amazing thing about it is you don't need in-season cards. You can play in-season cards if you want, but you can use 5 classic cards. It's only 1 entry, it's not multi-entry, this one. But the prizes are literally cash only with a bit of market credits, actually, which I didn't realize they were going to do. Scrolling down and seeing what they're offering in all scarcities, there is a $5 market credit plus boxes, of course, alongside the cash for top 1,000 in limited, by the way. Currently just over 5,600 participants in limited. I'm going to assume that is going to grow to about 15 to 20k, I would say. Maybe more. Maybe. But I don't know, just because it's single entry. But I'm going to, my range is like 17 to 20k, I'm going to assume. Cash pays down to 1,000. 5% chance of hitting cash, technically, if you're just going off head count of how many people are playing versus the reward pool. But that gets a bit more complicated depending on how good your team is and whatever, right? But anyway, $1,000 for the winner, $800 for second, $600 for third, $400 for fourth, and $300 for fifth. And then you can see then the tail goes all the way down to 1,000. So the bottom prize is $5. Now, I'm definitely not sitting here and saying, you can definitely make an unbelievable team for $5. I haven't researched that, and we're going to do that in the video. At limited, I'm going to see, what sort of team I can build for, a reasonable $5, $10, $15 maybe, that I really think can win. There's no point taking part here. Like, you've got to come to win, I think. And you're going to need 5 very good players with very good matchups to do that. And hopefully, we'll figure out, what that really costs, by the end of the video. In rare, you're looking at, I think it's 1,500 for the top, 1,000 for second, $800 for third, 600 and then 400 for fifth. The tail goes down all the way to 350th. Of course, there's going to be less people playing in rare. Again, only 1 entry per person. If you finish top 700th, you will get $10 worth of market credits alongside a box as well. What do the boxes actually look like? Okay, so they're rare premium boxes. So 2% chance of 50 essences. It's not great, but it's fine. 5% of 10 essence is pretty nice. I don't mind that. And 18% of 5 essence is not bad. Are they the same at the top? Yeah, they are. So the boxes are all the same. At Super, I think it's 2.5k for the top. The tail goes down to top 30 with $50 market credits, which is pretty nice for top 70. Currently in rare, there's 1,309 entries. I'm going to assume there's going to be about maybe 5,000 in rare. Could be off. Let me know what you think in the comments, as far as head count goes. But in the video today, we are going to be going over to sorare data, of course. If you don't have a star membership, lads, what are you doing? Pick scores is going to be vital for scouting for this competition, I think, in general, but even across every game week. Pick scores is an absolute lifesaver a lot of the time, and it is part of the star membership on sorare data. And if you use code Harry at checkout, that will get you 10% off any star membership you look to obtain. Today, we're going to be looking through the pick scores. We're going to try and figure out how much it costs for a limited team, for this anti-stack classic special weekly, just rewarding cash. So if you do enjoy it, please do leave it a like. And let's just get into scouting then. So we're going to do goalkeepers first. And what we got going on here then. So Koos the Goose at home to Beerschot, really nice fixture, AAA, £12 and 82 pence, is the floor. He's a little bit expensive, I would say, for a limited. Look, you don't have to do this on a budget. It all depends on, how much you want to sort of sink into it. You might only need to be looking at 1 player. You might only need an extra player. I'm going to assume a lot of people watching this have a ton of classic cards, of course. So, there's very rarely going to be many people watching this going, you know what, I need a full new team. All these goalkeepers so far, maybe apart from Marvin Schwabe. Let's have a look at him. They're playing away, which is not something I love doing. Cologne can get clean sheets away. He doesn't really peak. The thing is with this competition, it's going to take some big scores to win it. I'm talking probably close to 500 because there is a captaincy bonus of 50%. So getting your captaincy right is going to be vital. The good thing about it, in the sense of it's being anti-stacks, you can't just play 5 players from the same team. You can't play 5 Celtic guys. You can't play 5 River Plate guys. You can't play 5 Anderlecht guys, which makes it really, really interesting. And so that's where the scouting element comes in for me. And it's like, okay, what good player from, one of 5 teams that I can put together and assemble into, an Avengers type of team. Ron Robert Zella is at home to Ulm, AA, £6. Doesn't seem terrible. He's probably the best one we've seen so far, I would say, as far as being at home. They're playing against a team 16th in the league. Seems like a decent enough matchup. Etienne Vyson for 3 quid, by the way. Like, if he could do a 75 at home, like, they've got two clean sheets in the last 2 home games. Obviously got battered by PSV, but who doesn't? For 3 quid, I actually don't mind that. I think he's front runner right now. Raul Fernandez, what does he look like? Okay, looks pretty good. Not amazing. He looks fine enough, but I don't think he's in that Vyson territory right now. I'm going to build a concept team to make this a little bit easier so we can, sort of visualize it a bit better. Let's put Etienne Vyson in goal then for us. And by the end of it, sorry, they will calculate, how much the team would cost us. Okay, so that's the goalkeeper done. £3 for him. I'm not setting a budget necessarily. I'm just looking for value realistically after the 5 players are bought and decided, and we'll see, what that ends up costing. Cameron Carter-Vickers at home to Hibs, 5 quid. Doesn't seem like a terrible move. As long as he doesn't replicate that back pass he made in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, let's move on. Like this, Douglas Santos, there's some really good fixtures this weekend. Like Zenit at home, Hakimi away to Auxerre, 40 quid though. Like, He's not in our range, which is fine. Rodriguez, is he set to start? Is he for Zenit? That would be interesting. Unless there's some sort of... okay, yeah. So this guy looks like he came off injured, but I wouldn't trust that Rodriguez is necessarily playing. There might be more news that comes out, but let's shelf that one for now. Halstenborg could be nice for £2.68. Yeah, we could use him. I was going to say he plays for the same team as Ron Robert Zeiler. Can definitely peak. His last 2 peaks have come at home, so you've got to think, you'd like to think it, luck would be on your side, and that could happen again. Joris Kayembe for £3. I don't mind the look of that at home to Kortrijk. Some really nice fixtures here, to be fair. Like I said, there's going to be some massive, massive scores in this competition, knowing that you can play, people from any comp. I've just looked at Igor Silva. He could be really, really interesting. If he's in to start for Lorient, they play at home to Troyes. For 89 pence, lads, I might have to just throw him in. Yeah, for that price, if he is set to start. I know there's been a few worries with him in general. Like, he's been injured a few times and stuff. So I don't know necessarily he's 100% in to start. So, this is just me, doing this on a Wednesday. Things can change by Friday. So, yeah, this is just, what I'd like to probably do in the time being. Otamendi for £2.68 feels pretty good as well. We'll move over to midfielder for now and see what we can do over there. So far we've only spent technically £4.17. Vyson, floor price £3.28. And Igor Silva's under £1, which is beautiful. Okay, so you got Mertens for 7 quid. Bruno Fernandes at home, 46 quid. That is not happening. Shaqiri, they play away, but, 8 quid doesn't seem terrible. Di Maria for £7 at home to Vitória Guimarães. Again, not insanely bad, but I don't think we can really afford that type of play. Maybe. We'll see how it looks. Zetner for 9 quid, probably too much. Brian Heynan, see, I'm a big fan of his. I own his cards, so I'm a little bit biased, but he's proven to be really, really interesting this year. Has peaked at home, has peaked away, mainly 2 at home, 1 away. If he gets that decisive, his AA floor is really interesting. What's he in limited? £1.79. He's definitely the front runner, I would say, for now. Tadic away to Besiktas. I don't really like that fixture, honestly. Marcelino Moreno at home, Argentinian League. 89 pence, not insanely bad. Santiago Sosa, pretty cheap as well. What else do we have going on here? Forsberg for 89 pence. I think he'll be amazing next season, but MLS Cup final, I don't think I'd be trusting that as a fixture necessarily. Damsgaard for 3 quid. Right now, I'm not seeing any better than Heynan. What's this guy saying? Luca Search. He plays for Kaiserslautern. Okay. He plays centre-back. Interesting. But his card's a midfielder. So that's how he scores as a defender, sorry. His scores as a midfielder aren't as good. But still, those are 3 decisives in 6 games from a centre-back is really impressive. Leopold, 8 quid. Probably too much for us. Blair Spittle, 60 pence. Probably not. Paxton Aronson, too expensive. Bobby Schoofs against Club Brugge. I don't really like that as a fixture. Tom Bershoff, 5 quid. I mean, I'm a massive fan of his. He's not necessarily... 5 quid's relatively cheap for the scores that he's producing. Lads, we might have to put him in, You know what? I'm going to do it. I know we've gone cheap on the defender, but I think this will allow us to go pretty expensive. Well, yeah, 5 quid on the midfielder. So now we move to forwards. So currently we're just under 10 quid for the lineup. We're still two players away. So yeah, it's definitely going to be over £10. The lineup we're going to build. So forwards is a bit tricky because forwards in general that just do score well are going to be a bit more expensive than any other position just because of how scarce they are, I would say. Di Maria at home for 7 quid. I'm tempted, but again, it's a little bit pricey, isn't it? Lavadia, £7 as well. Kolenovic at home to Slaven. It's a good fixture. Only £3 if he was to start for Zagreb. Kasper Dolberg could be the play, though. £3.50 odd for Kasper Dolberg. He's been off for the last two. I worry that just the lack of decisives from him. Ultimately, we're going to need our forward to probably get a decisive. Now, if you want to go really cheap, Anderson Lopez is on fire right now. And there's only a couple of games left. Well, there's actually only one game left, so you'd only get one game of utility. But lads, for £2.30, if he could get me an 80, 80 points, I would be biting your hand off for that. I know it's only one game, so it's very short-term thinking in that sense. Like, I'm not saying it's a great long-term play, but for this competition alone, he's right now, value for money. I'm not seeing much better. Maybe though, Iago Aspas comes into play. £2.95. Of course, their season's not done, obviously, playing in Spain. At home to Mallorca. You know what, lads? I'm going Aspas. Let's throw Aspas in then. So what we at £12.82. Now, this last player can be a midfielder, forward, or defender. Extra position. Doesn't really matter. It just can't be a goalkeeper, of course. If we can get it within £20, I'd be really happy, I think. I'm liking Cameron Carter-Vickers, lads. Now, Celtic play this midweek. So there is, the risk of him playing this midweek and not playing the weekend. So there is that to maybe contend with. But for £5, you could be walking to like 80, 90 points there, I think. If he plays, of course. So for now, he is probably our front runner, I would say. Liam Scales, the same. If Scales plays, another Celtic defender around that £5 mark. Helsingborg's at £3. Again, he's got to be in contention, hasn't he? Like, I don't want to go double forward here. I think I'm going to go either double defender, so, the extra player being a defender, or a midfielder. We didn't end up going Heynen, did we? Heynen would make this really cheap. You know what? We're going to go Heynen. I've just got a funny feeling. Just under £15 then for this lineup. £14.61. You wouldn't get the in-season versions. You'd obviously just get the classics because they're cheapest. And that is at floor price. Like, you could make offers on these cards and maybe get them for like, I don't know, £12. All in all, potentially. Look, does this team go out and win? Slim chance it does. For £15, where do you need to come in the prize pool to sort of make your money back? So between 100 and 150th, yeah, $20, roughly £15. If you want to sort of extend that down, top 250th would get you $15 back, which again, is around the same sort of mark. Who would I captain, though, is the question. I think it'd have to be Bershoff, With his AA floor and the fact that he takes set pieces, Heynen doesn't necessarily take set pieces. So, for me, he's our captain for this lineup as well. Yeah, if he goes Silva's fit, like we did go quite cheap on the defender. You can obviously go as cheap as possible if you really wanted to. There's definitely cheaper options for all positions. Maybe not the defender, but there definitely is on, in the other positions. But £15, and it's not as if like any of these players aren't going to play further on this season, like like the Anderson Lopez shout, like he's obviously got one game left, so it's not really going to work, as far as longevity goes. But for a one-off comp, I'd fancy my chances going in with a lineup like that. It's not, it's not the best lineup you could ever build, obviously, but on a budget, I think it could do a bit of damage, to be honest. And yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see how that ends up getting on. I'm gonna screenshot it so I remember what we built, and yeah, by the end of the game week, I'm gonna calculate what they would have scored. It's obviously tough with the bonuses, but I'm just probably gonna say everyone has a 5% just for argument's sake, and see where that lineup would have gone. But yeah, let me know, lads, if you end up getting involved in the competition. I for one am definitely going to be probably playing a rare and super. I probably don't have the limiteds to do it unless we use our Road to Glory limiteds for that. That could be an interesting idea that's just come to me. But yeah, I'll decide that tomorrow for episode 18 of the Road to Glory. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know if there's any other smashes that I've missed out on in the comment section. Hope you have a great game week, and I shall see you guys in the next one.